Let's get into this first massive story. I could not believe it. I mean, honestly, I could believe it. It's just crazy. GoFundMe posted on Medium their statement on the Freedom Convoy. They say GoFundMe supports peaceful protests, and we believe that was the intention of the Freedom Convoy fundraiser when it first started. We now have evidence from law enforcement that the previously peaceful demonstration has become an occupation, with police reports of violence and other unlawful activity. When was Occupy protests considered to be violent or not allowed? I seem to recall the Chaz, the Chop Chaz, the autonomous zones. What about the autonomous zone in Minneapolis? Did they shut down any of that stuff? No. Black Lives Matter and Antifa and these groups are still fundraising and making money. Surprise, surprise. They say to ensure GoFundMe remains a trusted platform, we work with local authorities to ensure we have a detailed factual understanding of events taking place on the ground. Let me just tell you this, GoFundMe, you have lost all trust. Well, you lost your trust a long time ago, as far as I'm concerned. I can't believe anyone would have used GoFundMe at this point. If here's what you do. Tell each and every person you know, passively, just be like, oh, GoFundMe? Nah, they're bad. Don't use them. Just they're really, really awful. Use GiveSendGo. Here's what's important, though. They say, given how the situation has evolved, no further funds will be directly distributed to the Freedom Convoy organizers. We will work with organizers to send all remaining funds to credible and established charities verified by GoFundMe. All donors may submit a request for a full refund until February 19th, 2022, using this dedicated refund form. Well, I'll say this. If GoFundMe is like a payment processor and they intercept your funds that was supposed to go to someone, I don't know if maybe they've got things in their service like we're allowed to do this, whatever. I assume they are because they hold the money first and then transfer it. But this seems like there's some kind of, deceptive practice here that they do to take money from you. If I say, Luke, I would like to buy some of your mental jewels or whatever the hell that thing is, and you say, okay, and then Ian takes my money and says, no, I'm going to give it to Lydia instead, I'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah, if you're
how do you do that?
Hey, Ian, give Luke this 20 for me. I'm going to buy those jewels. I'll be like, yeah, sure, Tim. Then as I get the 20, I'm like, hey, Lydia, can I buy that coffee off you for $20?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you your 20.
And then they come to you, why didn't you ask for a refund? And I'll be like, dude, I was sitting here waiting for Luke's mental jewels. What is that?
This is Mark Lobin actually gave me these, sent me this and a whole bunch of other supplements.
Lobliner?
He sent us a whole bunch of packages. Yeah. Definitely read them. Make sure you're not like allergic to anything.
I look over at whatever Luke's got on his side.
I got a whole bunch of drinks and
a jar of
stuff. They are, by the way, mental jewels.
Bread knives.
Good stuff there.
There's gotta be something that the SEC can do there. I mean, they've cracked down before on like GoFundMe's. Like if I start a GoFundMe and I said, hey, I'm going to use it for X and I use it for Y, I know that that's highly illegal, right? But for GoFundMe to do it, I think that goes into the SEC territory.
Yeah, they should not be able to reappropriate funds, but I'm sure they have in their terms. I'm pretty sure they do. That if something happens and the project or whatever fundraiser is shut down, then they take the money. I'm pretty sure GoFundMe does say that. They shouldn't be allowed to do that, period, though. If I say, I want to give this money to a cause, they should not be allowed to reappropriate it. It should just go back, automatically refund.
Well, GoFundMe has been becoming increasingly political, and this move is just absolutely absurd. This is theft. This is people being robbed of their money that they wanted for a specific cause, and then they're going to be redistributing it for causes that they believe in, that they align with, which most likely probably is going to be Marxist, leftist ideas and organizations. Robert Barnes, a very prominent lawyer who was on this broadcast before, said that this is fraud and there's grounds for a class action lawsuit here. Since, of course, how can you say that this is not political, especially when GoFundMe has been used in so many different political ways, especially when people were punished and attacked whenever they go against the establishment on GoFundMe. There's more than enough evidence to show you that this is a hyper-partisan organization that is not there to raise funds for any charity. They are there for power. They are there for a political cause and nothing else, and they will stop anything stopping in their way, including good people who want to give their money.
So if you go to GiveSendGo.com, you will likely encounter a crashed website because everybody's rushing over there to support the truckers. I don't know exactly what the official fundraiser is. There is one on the front page trending that says Adopt a Trucker. And they've raised 213,827 Canadian dollars from 2,178 people. When I try to go to it, unfortunately, it's just crashed.
Oh, no.
Yep.
So,
and there's another thing to consider here, because you know this, Tim, and I know this as well, because I've been running my own online business. Whenever you email all of your customers, there's a percentage that, of course, never get the message, whether it's an email, whether it's a direct message, whether even if it's a message on your own platform. There's going to be a number of people that never hear about this notification, never open that email, and their money is going to go to whatever political cause GoFundMe wants to give. So there's going to be a lot of money here that gets redistributed in a way that it's absolutely bastardized and disgusting.
A majority of people aren't going to know this happened.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And it's not going to be a small fraction. It's going to be a significant portion, because whenever I try to send out messages to my members, it's only a small portion that actually do open the email, do actually read all the latest updates and important things that they need to know.
Tim, let me ask you, I mean, I haven't really been keeping up with this, but did you say that they have to fill out a refund form?
Yeah.
In order to get the money back? Well, I'm going to suggest something. Anybody that's listening to this show, instead of filling out that credit card that refund form, what they need to do is they need to call in their bank and do a chargeback, right? Because I don't think there's anybody
if it's a credit card, though, right?
If it's a credit or debit card, it doesn't matter.
Really?
Yeah, you could do a chargeback. Because it's services not rendered. You're paying for a service, so I could give money to the truckers, but then they're going to give it to like some other cause, some other virtue signally cause that for sure you will never give money to. I don't think there's many people that know about the credit card industry as much as I do, and the reason why I tell you that, because I've been banned off of everything and I've had to find new ways to process payments on my 1776.shop. And one of the tactics was that they'd go ahead and they'd get chargebacks in order for the credit card processing.
Money.
Yeah, it costs you $35 each time they do it.
Wow.
So if they pay $21 for a shirt, they're going to refund $21, and then you're going to have to pay $35. It's kind of like an overdraft fee kind of thing.
There's also, I remember when I think it was Patreon, when they banned, I think it was Owen Benjamin. He said he wanted to go to arbitration or whatever, and every single person who got shut down because Patreon basically interfered with like several hundred people or 1,000 people and him, all of them could file arbitration, and then Patreon was panicking because that would mean they'd have to front the cost of arbitration. So it was like millions of dollars. I don't exactly remember what happened with that, but there's $10 million Canadian. It's like 8 million US. I don't know how many people donated. Probably tens of thousands, but I don't know if they could handle if that's tens of thousands. It could cost them $1 million or more. It could cost them theoretically around $8 million if everyone did a chargeback.
Yeah, and we should also kind of speculate why this is happening. Is GoFundMe just doing this because they don't politically align with the people in Canada, with the truckers, or is the Canadian government and other powerful forces, whether multinational or big banking, coming to them and saying, hey, you got to get rid of these people or we're going to shut you down, or we're going to make sure you can't operate your business? Because this is a huge setback for GoFundMe. There is no logical business reason for them to do this, because they are shooting themselves in the foot and isolating a huge public from ever using their platform ever again. I'm never going to use GoFundMe. I did use them a couple years ago. Never again in my life will I ever be using them because of just how blatantly political this is. Why did this happen? I think there was probably, speculating here, pressure from the Canadian government saying, get rid of this. We need to stop the funding. We need to stop these protests. We need to stop the voices of the people in Canada immediately.
So, but one of my questions is, and I want to be fair here, like, what did these truckers do? Did these truckers are they slamming their trucks into something?
Well,
do they got like Nazi flags? Are they calling for the government to be overthrown?
We got to be fair, okay?
Okay.
No, we got to be fair and call it out when it needs to be called out. These truckers, they did honk their horns. they did honk, and that is a capital offense. I mean, that's off with their heads. So says the Queen. I mean, I'm kidding, by the way. They did nothing. I mean, it's a bunch of guys in trucks.
Yeah, but just even a few days ago, we had the Ottawa City Councillor come out, and she demanded that GoFundMe stop this particular fundraising event because it was, quote, according to her, a pipeline of funding to unlawful mercenaries. This is the language of an Ottawa city councillor literally making public statements demanding a private company stop the voices of the people. And that to me is
for
crazy.
sure. It looks like GoFundMe got political pressure.
You guys,
if not from the Stripe payment system or the Swift payment system, I should call it Stripe. It's weird that the Stripe and Swift are so similar, but Swift is the big one.
I'll tell you the situation here, and it doesn't have to do with like their credit card processor. They're working in tandem as far as their views go. I can tell you, like, this problem that we're talking about today, we knew about this problem 3 years ago. The first time I used GoFundMe, where my GoFundMe got shut down, was during the events of Hurricane Harvey in 2017. Our funding goal, it was to do direct water rescues, and we're only asking for like $1,000. We raised like $1,200. We passed the limit, and they froze the account. They never gave the money because it just had the Proud Boy name on it. It wasn't because of anything to do with anything else, anything nefarious or anything like that. So I've been screaming about GoFundMe for a long time. GiveSendGo has been an excellent platform. But I know that they changed their credit card processor because they were using Stripe system, and they wanted to keep like funding like some of these J6 political prisoners. They wanted to keep funding like their campaigns. But the problem is that Stripe called them, and Stripe said, if you don't stop doing business, if you don't shut down this campaign, we're cutting you off.
Stripe did?
Yeah.
Not Swift.
No, they were using Stripe at the time.
Wow.
And, as a business owner, they have to continue to work. So they had no choice but to shut it down. After that, they changed their credit card processor, and it's been chill. There's another company by the name of Our Freedom Funding that did the opposite. So they're like, oh, we could fund all your causes. And as a matter of fact, they stole $85,000 from my family fund, right? From my family. It wasn't like my fund. And then from Joe Biggs' defense fund, I think they stole a grand total out of $70,000. They stole about like $35,000 out of his funding campaign. So like, you have nowhere to go. You have no representation, right? You have no money. And this guy comes out of the blue and is like, I got this website that you could fundraise on. And then he steals your money.
Yeah, that's my problem with non-centralized donation services is they're insecure. If some, like Craigslist, good luck trying to do anything with any oversight. Like at least with GiveSendGo or GoFundMe, you've got some sort of recourse to get your money back.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Now, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.